We are going to welcome back Bert Lee.
Yeah, living on the rolling sea. Great song.
Thank you very
Great
much, man.
song.
Appreciate it. Looking forward to
Tasty.
hearing you.
Tasty.
Thank you, Paula.
Well, I had a little pony with star drops in her eyes. Her coat is black as Chinese silk, and I call her Butterfly. I ride her in the valley where the river water's sweet. She drinks it like a lady, and she prances with her feet. The eagle on the wing is chasing shadows in the sun, and lightning doesn't stand a chance when you see my pony run. Her mane flies out like fire when she's running with the wind. I know she'll never throw me, 'cause that pony is my friend. I started out in Dallas, that's where I was raised. Took up a life of gambling and all my luck be praised. Went out to San Francisco where the streets were paved with mud. I bought a pair of pistols and I learned to thrive on blood. I shot a man in anger over something that he said. I had to give up gambling when the gold turned into lead. I left all that behind me and I'm running with the wind, and I know they'll never find me, 'cause that pony is my friend. Well, I was heading out from Reno, but the desert got too big. I lost all my provisions and all of my water dried. My pretty little pony fell down and broke a leg. I sent her to her maker and I laid down by her side. The buzzard on the wing is chasing shadows in the sand, and a man cries out for water who's got diamonds in his hand. Now I've come to higher ground where the river's just begun, and I stand upon the mountain top and watch my pony run. I have a little pony with star drops in her eyes. Her coat is black as Chinese silk, and a saddle she denies. I ride her in the valley where the river water's sweet. She drinks it up like champagne wine and prances with her feet. And I ride her in the hilly land where the river's just begun. And I stand upon the mountain top and I watch my pony run. Calamity Jane comes down from the hills like the thunder and the rain. 6-gun goddess, 5 bullets shy. No one can tell if her life is a lie. Comes down from the hills like the wild night wind. Everybody knows her, but she hasn't got a friend. She's got a room upstairs in the Deadwood bar. Dime novel hero and a rodeo star. Shoots down dreams like bottles on a shelf, standing at the mirror and talking to herself. Calamity Jane, who can believe and who can explain if her life is a legend or the legend is a lie? Shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky. Shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky. She rode with General Crooks at Rosebud Hill. She shot like the devil, but she never made a kill. There's no need to kill 'em when the hard times will. She rode in the circus just to give them a thrill. Standing up in the saddle, she never took a spill, but they only came to see old Buffalo Bill. Jane, Jane, tall as a crane, laying in bed with a fever in her brain. Try to sort out all the things she did from the things she didn't and the things she hid. What is the truth and what is the lie? She shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky. Shoots her pistol at the stars in the sky. That was a Butterfly and the Ballad of Calamity Jane, which are from a cycle of cowboy songs that I've been working on to release as an album sometime later this year. And I hope you enjoyed those songs. And I'm going to do a tribute since I've only been to San Francisco once in my life, and it was back in 1970. And I loved it. Boy, if I could live there, I would live there. But I was steeped on San Francisco music because I was a hippie, which you probably can't tell. You know, it's hidden to all eyes. So this is a song that we used to listen to lying on our back looking at the ceiling because we pretty much couldn't do anything else in a commune that I lived in. And I've been able to play this song recently with one of the people that wrote the song, that being David Bennett Cohen. Who, if you know your San Francisco music history, was with a very famous band called Country Joe and the Fish. And this is one of my favorite Country Joe songs. The white ducks fly out past the sun, their wings flash silver at the moon, while waters rush down the mountain tongues, my organs play a circus tune. I dance to the wonder of your feet and sing to the joy of your knees. The cold white tress on the mountain's breast paints the frozen trees. The maple plants patterns in the sky, its leaves to kiss the wind, while scores of glittering bugs and flies dance polkas on her limbs. I laugh for the wonder of your face, sing to your hair so fine, on shattered dreams of playground grass a child jumps rope to rhyme. Reeds and brass, the marching drums, they make a joyous sound, while trees bend low with nuts and plums and fall to find the ground. I hunger for your porpoise mouth, and I stand erect for love. The sun burns up the winter sky, and all the earth is love. Country Joe McDonald, Country Joe and the Fish. Probably best known for his anti-Vietnam songs. And I just thank you once again, John Rybeck, for pulling this great event together. It's just such a pleasure. to meet all these nice musicians. Everyone sounded so good tonight, and today we haven't even arrived at tonight yet. That's a whole other kettle of fish tonight. You've got some resilience to keep on hanging in there like that, buddy. A lot of resilience. Okay, so we have time for 2 more songs. Is that the story?
Let me look real quick. I think so. You have till. Wow, you got like 20 more minutes.
Okay, I'm going to do my 20-minute version of Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands. I write a lot of songs based on my family history. This is one of the first songs that I wrote that intimated that I would be doing that, because my grandfather, well, he was kind of a rogue and a bandit, and he spent a very, very short and unsuccessful career as a stagecoach robber. Let's just say he tried to rob the wrong stagecoach and leave it at that. And he came back east after robbing it at the end of the Civil War with 2 bags full of money, but unfortunately he stole them near Denver from a place that minted Confederate money, so he had 2 bags of Confederate money. And that inspired the first verse of this song. The rest of the song is a meditation on the socioeconomic zeitgeist. It's called The Money Isn't Real. My grandpa was a grifter, a gambler and a heel. He snuck around from town to town and dealt a dirty deal. He went out in the wild world to steal what he could steal. You know he stole a fortune, but the money wasn't real. No, the money wasn't real. Funny how it is, you know now, the money wasn't real. He set out as a bandit, oh, he came back empty-handed. Should have been a rich man, but the money wasn't real. Now the Pharaoh was a miser, his story has been told. He had 10,000 workers build a pyramid to hold all his statues and his trappings and his caskets and his gold. He wanted to have everything, but all he got was old, 'cause none of it was real. Funny how it is, you know now, none of it was real. His monument so grand just got covered up by sand. Now he's just another mummy, man, 'cause none of it was real. Now a poor man buys a loaf of bread, he shares it and it's gone. A rich man wrecks his portion, yet his wealth keeps rolling on. And the good things that you've said and done are nothing you can pawn. 'Cause when you're in the underclass, you're always overdrawn. 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now, the money isn't real. You can follow all the rules made by idiots for fools, and you think you'll get your just reward, but you won't. You won't pick up a penny, you might spare a dime. $1 buys a pretty meager way to waste your time. A C-note get your groceries, and $1,000 might buy a thrill. You might rake in a shitload and still not get your fill. Hey, I live in America, a country built on greed, and I suppose that's not a bad thing if you just take what you need. But it seems everyone's afflicted by hunger to exceed. Why should one man have 1 billion when there's 1,000,000 mouths to feed? 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now, the money isn't real. You can burn it, you can earn it, but in the end you'll learn it all amounts to nothing. Now this is the part where I talk. I bought me some insurance in case I pass away. I've heard that that could happen, and who am I to say? I might live forever, or then they'd never have to pay. Shit. Who would be the loser then if it all turned out that way? 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now, the money isn't real. You can spend it, you can lend it, oh, you'll find that in the end it all amounts to nothing. Yes, it's funny how it all amounts to nothing. So funny how it all amounts to nothing, 'cause the money isn't. There you go. They call me Twinkle Fingers. Now I'm going to end with something of a slightly more sober nature.
Oh, don't end yet.
No. I'll stretch this. I know I got plenty of time here. Um, I want to take a moment here to reflect upon something. I'm not a guy that talks a lot between his songs, but I don't know about you, but I'm fucking fed up with the way people are out there these days, and this whole thing that seems to happen every other day. It's just so wrong, and everyone argues about why it's happening, but all the arguments in the world can't straighten it out. Nothing in the whole world can bring back the dead children, the dead gay men and women, the people killed for just being who they are, and sometimes for no reason you can actually make out at all. And it breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. And so I have sworn that every day that another of these events were to happen, I will post this very song on Facebook. And sadly enough, in the last 15 days, I've had to post it 7 times. So I don't know if there's a solution. But coming from where I'm coming from, the only solution that might help the situation is to love one another. That's all I can say. Is this thing comes from hatred, and the only thing that can solve it is love. So that's the serious thought that I offer, and I hope you listen to this song and understand. It was on a Tuesday morning, kids were playing on the floor. When the shot rang down the hall, teacher tried to lock the door. Silence all your laughter now, your Frere Jacques rounds. Hide beneath your desks and chairs, hush now, make no sound. Like the errant hand of wind that steals a child's balloon, another shot rings out too near, too quickly and too soon. Boy child with a warrior's gun has come into the room, come to gather flowers before they have a chance to bloom. She was only 8 years old, never will be 9. She was just a child of yours, or else a child of mine. Leave your flowers at the door, black rose and columbine. She was just a child of yours, or else a child of mine. She'll never know the names of clouds that come and go too soon, or the reason there are rainbows, brother sun and sister moon. See the mighty bureaucrats who hide behind their desks, hear their mumbled platitudes behind their solemn masks, and all they have to offer are these useless thoughts and prayers. She was just a child of ours and not a child of theirs. They can't recall the magic years that come and go too soon, or the reason there are children, brother sun and sister moon. Leave your explanations, please. How empty they all seem. Just remember how we sang that life is but a dream. Leave your flowers at the door, black rose and columbine. She was just a child of yours or a child of mine. She'll never know the names of tides that come and go too soon, or the reasons for tomorrow, brother sun and sister moon. Leave your explanations, please, how empty they all seem. Just remember how we sang, life is but a dream. And with that, that's appropriate song to end with. If I have a few minutes left over, let the next person grab a couple of extra minutes for themselves if they're ready.
That would be in about 10, 12 minutes.
10 or 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, then I guess I have to. I guess I have to do another song.
Yeah.
I hate to. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I'll do another song from my cowboy cycle of songs, and that might please you. This is a song dedicated to my grandfathers, matriarchal and patriarchal, and I took some of the details from one of their lives and took the detail from the other one of their lives, and I smushed them together. Zoop. That's the sound the little lizard guy makes. Zoop. And I came up with this song, which is called "The Cowboy from Boston." Well, he played an old fiddle made over in Europe, recited the poets and quoted the bards, rode out of the east on a sway-apalooza. The cowboy from Boston with his sleeve full of cards, with a hey diddle ho riding high in the saddle, pearl handle pistol and a master's degree. Come 3,000 miles to the streets of Seattle to wet his fine whistle on some fresh Chinese tea. East Coast goes west to meet Far East, you see. Good man or bad depends on just who is talking. He bluffed like a champion or he lied like a snake. The ladies all swooned when he twirled his mustaches. He snuck out the back door to bring him some cake, with a hey diddle ho riding over the prairie, fancy pants, holsters, real silver spurs. The music he fiddled was so fine and airy. Looking up in the sky, he could name all the stars. He knew all his history and the generals and wars. He rode down the coast to the West Texas border, to the Mexican desert where the summer was fierce. He got all caught up in the good revolution. He fought at the side of an old man named Bierce. With a Viva Zapata he gave a loud holler, his gentleman's clothing all spattered with mud. He shot like a bandit, but he talked like a scholar. cowboy from Boston, all hell-bent for blood. Just a cowboy from Boston won't come to no good. Well, not far from Houston, he stopped a stray bullet, and the last words he said just lifted right off the page. It was something he'd learned from the poet of Avon. How all men are players and life is a stage. With a viva la vida, that was how fate planned it. There's no one can say once that hand rolls the bones. He talked like a scholar, but he shot like a bandit. The cowboy from Boston laying under some stone. Just a cowboy from Boston come a long way from home. The cowboy from Boston come a long way. Am I playing particularly fast today or something and I still have time?
You can do one more if you don't mind. One more.
Okay, well, by popular demand, I suppose. Our old Italian neighborhood has turned Chinese, maybe for good. Water, water everywhere. The ghetto has been gentrified and the first folks have been pushed aside. Doesn't matter if it's fair. It's the same thing everywhere. The Indians that once lived here, they made their trade in hunting deer. Water, water everywhere. They made a bargain with the Dutch that really didn't leave them much, but the Dutchmen didn't care. It's the same thing everywhere. Now the hippies have all moved upstate. The hipsters came to take their place. Maybe the only difference is the hair. And the little shops you could afford to shop in once, they now are boarded. But the building owners, they don't care. It's the same thing everywhere. Well, the water just goes where it will. You know it always flows downhill. Rivers running everywhere. And who are you and I to kid? It just does what it always did. Just goes where it's meant to be, flowing till it finds the sea. Water, water everywhere. Now the music clubs have all shut down. New York is a rich man's town. It doesn't matter if it's fair. And the only music that remains is while you're waiting for the trains. You can tip them if you care. So much free music everywhere. Well, the money just goes where it must. It's all about the boom or bust. Buddy, have you got a dime to spare? And who are you and I to kid? It settles for the lowest bid. The bottom line is where it goes. That's just the way the money flows. Doesn't matter if it's fair. Now in my new Chinese neighborhood, the people that I meet are good. It's the same thing everywhere. No matter where they come from, friend, they're only people in the end. It's not their fault they settled there. People everywhere. People trying just to be everywhere like you and me, like water flowing through the sea, going where we're meant to be. Water, 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 water everywhere. I thank you all again. Thank you so much for enjoying my music, and I'll stick around and listen to as many people as I can. And God bless you all, and thanks for pulling together for a good cause. And that fine fellow Ryback over there, keep him in your thoughts all the time.
Thanks, Bert. Great set. All right, next.